Have you always wanted to provide some sort of security to your door? Well, that's what we're gonna do today. Let's jump into the video.
Okay guys, this is the door lock system, a small prototype for the providing security to your door. So let's just see how it works. I've already given 1 2 3 4 has the password, so I enter it now, and if I press the hash symbol, which I have coded as an enter symbol, you can see the access is granted and you can see the door opening up. So if I press D again, you can see the door closing out. So suppose I give a wrong password, you can see it saying as access denied. So this is a small prototype guys, looks interesting, right? So let's get started on how to make this.
Okay guys, now let's just see the simulation before actually doing the hardware project. It's always good to do simulation so that you can check what is the problem or what are the errors in uploading a code or something, and also the circuit connection, so that it will be easy if you do the hardware project. Okay, now as you can see from here, I've already given all the connections. Well, I'll be explaining each and every one of it. So the main components are the servo motor, the LCD display, and this is a keypad. You can actually use this arrow and then search all these items and then drag and drop here, and of course the Arduino is one of the most important over here, and also some wires and then 2 resistors. Okay, so now you can see this is actually a 4x4 keypad, right? You have 4 rows and 4 columns. So control this, we need to have 8 wires. You can also Google it and see. This is uses a concept called matrix keyboard. So basically you have 4 wires and 4 for the rows and 4 wires for the column. So basically you have a library which is already installed in the Arduino IDE software, which I'll be showing you soon. We'll actually go through the the pressing of the element. For example, if I press 8, it will know that I have pressed the wire that has been connected to the the column wire, that is the second column and the third row. That's how it sends the inputs to the Arduino. So basically we have 8 wires over here. So all these are connected to basically some 8 digital input pins of the Arduino. I have over here connected from 2 to 9. Okay, so basically you can see this is the row 1, row 2, row 3 and row 4, and then column 1 to column 4. So you have to remember which pin is being connected to the which row numbers, because you need to give it the code. I'll be showing it to you soon. So next connection. Okay, now we have completed the keypad section. Now let's go into the LCD display. Okay, so in your LCD display you have this much amount of pins to make it work. So let's just see what all the pins that you have to connect so that you can work with the LCD display. So the main one is your obviously your VCC and your ground. You have to give power supply to the LCD display, so that is this. So it's connected to the positive, this is connected to the negative. And then next to is your LED anode and your LCD cathode. So this is actually the screen behind your display, which is gonna give light behind it. You saw a green light in the beginning of the video, right? That is because of this LED over here. Okay, now let's see the another connection. This is the contrast. This has been connected to the you can see it's connected to the a negative terminal with a resistor. You can actually also connect a potentiometer in order to vary the contrast. The contrast is the widthness of the sentences that's get printed here. For example, if you print enter password, the lesser the resistance, then more the contrast. So more the resistance, lesser the contrast. You can fix it accordingly you want it. Next is your register select pin. This has been connected to your so this pin is connected to the 0th pin of the Arduino. Then you have your enable pin. This is connected to the first pin of the Arduino. Okay, now next is your RW. This is known as read or write. This is actually normally connected to the ground. So now from here to this pin, it's actually data pins. It's known as data transfer pin. So from 0 to data pin 7. So it is actually 8 bits display, data pin display. But for our project, it's needed only 4. 4 is enough to transfer all your information. So from D4 to D7, it's been connected to from your 10th pin to the 13th pin of the Arduino. I think you will understand more when I show you the code. All these are done in order to provide information in the coding section, which I'll be showing you soon. Then last is your servo motor. So you have connected your keypad and also your LCD display. Now you have to go to the mechanical part, which is your servo motor. You have 3 pins over here. Normally you have the positive and the negative, so basically your power connection. Then you have the one pin that is known as the signal pin. So this is gonna be connected to the A0 or the analog pin of the Arduino Uno board. Okay guys, now let's just see the code for the project that has to be uploaded in your Arduino Uno so that you can see your project in action. Okay, so this is the code for your project. I'll be explaining it now. It's very simple, but then you can see over here you have 3 main libraries that is been included: your keypad, servo motor, and the liquid crystal, which is nothing but your LCD display. These are actually basically available in your Arduino IDE. Suppose these are not available in your IDE, you can actually download it. I'll show you how to do it. So this is your Arduino IDE. Now if you go to this sketch section and then give include library and then provide manage libraries, it will take some time. And you can see over here the list of libraries that is been available. You can actually click any one of them and install. So for example, if you need a keypad, I'll search it as keypad. So you can see over here you have got lot of keypads over here. You can actually use any one of them. Basically I have installed this version by Keypad by Mark Stanley. You can see it's been given as installed. Like this for other two also you can do if it's not available by default. Okay, now let's just take a look at the code that is being uploaded inside the Arduino Uno. So first you can see I have initialized 2 variables, rows and columns, which is actually for the keypad. So 4 rows and 4 columns. And then this is actually the setup of the your keypad, right? You can see from here. So basically it is to show that exactly it works as a 2D array. So basically hexa keys and rows and columns are being arranged like this. So this is what I already showed you, that the wires that you give, you should remember the pins that you have been connecting the rows and the columns. So over here I have connected the rows to the 9876 pins and the columns to 5432. Okay, now this line is nothing but calling the keypad class from your keypad library. So I declared a custom keypad, and then this is a function that is being present inside the class. So if you give keypad and send your 2D array and your row pins and the column pins and an amount of rows and columns, that's it, you are good to go. You just have to use this custom keypad and basically use functions like get key. I'll show you right now. Over here I've used like get key. This function will allow you to get the key that is being pressed. So that's all for the keypad. Now let's get into the servo part. So basically servo is also a class inside the servo library, and I've initialized a variable called class called myservo. So you can see I have used like myservo.attach and myservo.write. These are the 2 main functions. So attach is nothing but as already said, the signal wire has been connected to the A0, right? A0 can also be called as the 14th pin of the Arduino. So I have connected it to that particular pin, and then write is nothing but the angle in which you want your servo to activate. So in the beginning I've kept it as 0, but in the end when you open it I'll make it 180 degrees accordingly. I'll show you in the end of the video. So that's all the main two functions that you actually use in a in a servo part. Okay, now let's get into the LCD part. So over here you can see I have I've initialized some variables. Well, this is your one single line which is the most important part of your code. So liquid crystal is the class claim and LCD is your object name. So you have to send all these variables. So as I already said, this is the register select enable the D4 to D7 pins. So these are all already been connected, right? You have to give the pin numbers in which it has been connected. That's all. Okay, this is nothing but the password and the already set password that I have kept here. So I have kept it as 1234. You can also change it with whatever you want. Maybe as of now I'll change it like 4567 with also some many variables like IA or something or asterisk. Let's check if it works also in the end of while I do the simulation. So basically, I'm changing the amount of length, right? So I've given it S of 5, but over here you can see it is like 1 2 3 4 5 6 letters and one null character. So basically you should give as though it is 7. I change for the length of the password that I am gonna create also. Okay, these are all the normal begin statements. You can just write this out, you don't have to worry. Well, this is a serial.begin or serial.print or something that to show you on the serial monitor, which is not needed right now. That's why given as a comment. That is because you're gonna print all your statements actually inside the LCD, right? So you can switch off that. It's just to show you that you can also see your output in the serial monitor. I have given it. You can see LCD.begin and print and then delay, clear. All these are normal functions basically to print and give some time and then clear it and print the other print statement, all those things. Then let's come to the set cursor function. This is very normal. It's nothing but this is column and this is row. So it is actually basically this LCD is a 16:2 display. So basically you have 16 rows and 2 columns. So starting from this end to this end. So you will be like 0 to 15. There will be 16 columns, whereas 0 and 1 will be your row. So that many characters only can be printed here. That's why I have given like that. Okay, now let's get into the loop function. Over here, as already said, I've declared a key to get the variable that is been printed from your keypad. So suppose if I print 8, that will get stored in that key. That's it. This function getKey will help you to do that. So if suppose I have pressed any key, then I'll check the condition. There are basically 3 conditions I am checking. It is like whether the key is it a hash symbol or not D symbol. This is because during hash or D I am not gonna record it in the password, right? Because hash works as a enter and D works as a closing symbol. So I should not be using that. So I've given not symbol. So over here, as you can see, other variables are being pressed. Other characters are pressed. For example, 1, 4, B, whatever it is. You can see in the password I equal to key, and then password I plus 1 giving as null. So basically, and then incrementing the I character, and I initialized I over here with 0. So password of password of 0 will be the first character, password of 1 will be the second character, password of 2 will be the third character as such. And so in the end you can see the password will be like a complete string. The array will be a complete string, because array character is nothing but a complete string. Okay, now let's get into the part where what if the hash symbol is being pressed. So suppose the key is hash. This is when you have to check the condition. There is a function called string compare, which will compare the password and your predefined password, and it's tell us whether it is the same or not. So basically, when it is actually same, the string compare function will return 0. That's why I have given this condition. So once given, I actually print as access granted, and then all those other functions. And one of the main important function is the servo open. This servo open, let's come here. I've defined it here. it's nothing but it's gonna start from 0, which I already told the position has been initialized as 0, right? So 0 from 0 to 180 degrees with the increment of 10 angles. So basically 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 with a delay of 40 milliseconds. Okay, so this is what is going to happen over here. So for every 40 millisecond, you can see the motor moving 10 degrees till it reaches 180 degrees. So you can see the movement of the door. Same actually goes for the wide servo close also. It will start from the 180 degree, so it has to get subtracted 10 degrees and reaches 0. So the same concept from 180 to 0. So basically it acts as if it is closing the door. And this clear data is just used as a function where I'll clear the old password so that for the next time you can re-enter the password. So you can see I'm giving the starting character as null, so that it's acts as if it's an empty string. So the same thing we did for hash symbol. I gave acts as guaranteed, right? So for the D symbol I give as though it is closing and call the servo close function. That's all. So over here also you can see that these are all normal function conditions. So you can actually refer my code also. I'll be giving it in the description. You can download it and also paste it in your project, or you can also try to write it on your own. It's very simple. There are just 2 conditions that you have to follow, and also some important functions like get key, and then for the servo you can see this is the main function dot write and all those stuff. That's all. So that's all for the code, guys. Let's just see how it works. Okay, now let's just run and see the simulation. So I'm starting the simulation. Okay, you can see it has started door lock system, and after some delay you can see it's printing enter password. So I changed the password, right? You remember it? It is 4, 5, 6, 7, A asterisk. That's it. So let's give enter and just let's see. Yeah, okay, its access has been granted, and over here you can see the servo motor going into 180 degrees, right? So basically this is you can see that suppose you might ask, if I give directly as 180 degrees, yeah, you can actually give directly 180 degrees, but it will be so fast that you can't see the actual movement of the motor. That's why you can see in the code I actually give delay for each and every each and every iteration. That is the main reason behind it. So now let's just press D. You can see it says closing, and also you can see the servo motor gain to the original position. You can see the movement. Suppose if you give a wrong password or something, obviously it's gonna say access denied. So hope you have understood the project, guys. So the next step is actually very simple. You just have to give the code, or you type the code on your own to write it on your own Arduino IDE, and then give upload to the original Arduino IDE, and then you are good to go. So guys, as I already said, the main important parts are an LCD screen, the keypad, and inside the box you can see the servo motor over here. I connected it with wire so that the door opens or closes. So basically just cut out a small part in your box so that it looks as a door, and then you can see the exact same code that you saw in the simulation is being given here. And once you give all the conditions and the passwords correct, it works perfectly, and you can actually power your Arduino using your laptop, or if you can also connect a 9-volt battery with the 9-volt battery connector also. So hope you like the project, guys.